What's he saying? I'm in the queue to speak to you. Mocha Swirl. Okay. Well, after I share this thought, then I'm gonna let somebody up in the queue after I share this thought. So, um, I knew that I wanted to study agriculture. I knew that I wanted a farm. I knew that I wanted to build tiny houses. I knew that I wanted to have my own sanctuary in nature. I knew this for a fact in 2017. This is a part of the reason why I had joined Carbonnation. Needless to say, when I was on my own, I was very inclined to studying nature. Like, you could break it down, plan to me, and I will remember like I been knew it. That's how interested I am. And I really feel like I express a lot of my energy through that avenue, through agriculture. I feel like that's a good way for me to put my message out into the world. I've always believed that every single one of us have, yeah, every, um, hold on, give me a second, y'all. Hold on, let me check on Ellie. So I started coming up with ways, right? I started coming up with ways to really put forward my effort into acquiring some type of education or establishment of me being in agriculture or wanting to learn agriculture. I started joining programs in my hometown that connected me to agriculture. Like, I was in one organization where we went around New Orleans and did water testing. We did rain testing, water testing, soil testing. We actually went to the bayou, in the night ward and did water testing, and we seen the effects of the pollution, how much we pollute the water or we pollute the earth itself. We see the effects of how the water changes from this, extremity in our society. And I myself have held workshops, multiple workshops of teaching men and women and children how to build rain gardens in order to save water, build rain barrels to save water, you know what I'm saying? And it was a very interesting process. I even taught a couple workshops on class, on plants, you know what I'm saying, what kind of plants to put in the rain gardens, because you have to put plants there that can absorb a lot of water, but this was specifically anchored in New Orleans, and we had to sustain the earth here in New Orleans. And I was in another organization where we talked about the political standpoint of society and how our the political system and jurisdiction that's over us has certain extremities within that spectrum as well, and coming up with solutions. I'm talking about really coming up with solutions to figuring out how we can lower us being stagnant in society and causing negativity, causing harm, causing destruction, causing pollution, causing violence, causing whatever it is, you know. And so after a while of me really immersing myself into environmental science, pretty much, and environmental studies of human behavior and stuff, I started watching Nature Boy on my Facebook, because when I was in college, I was just the videos would just come up on my timeline and I would watch them. And I was feeling mad at the time in college And when I failed math, I didn't know that I could drop the class. I didn't know that I could just change my class. So I was pretty devastated after the fact when I completely withdrew, not knowing that information. Needless to say, I felt like it was pretty much over. Like I would flunk out of college, you know. So that wasn't the reason why I joined Carbonation. You know, it was just another factor in my life that propelled me into joining Carbonation. You know, and that's when Nature Boy, he just took everything that I knew away from me. Like as soon as I went to join him, I didn't realize it at the time, but that's what actually happened. Like he took everything away from me that I knew about myself, that I knew about what I wanted to do in life, everything. And he replaced that with his mission, his agenda. And, you know, he would say to us in Carbonation, you should give me your mind and let me think for you. He would say stuff like this to us. You know, let me think for you. Let me give you my knowledge and then I'll give you your mind back. You know, he trying to recreate us into clones of himself. And because I'm very like strong opinionated, like I told you, you know, in the beginning of the story that I'm telling you, I always had my own sense of thinking. Like when he would say stuff to me, I would have to really ponder on it. If you guys noticed, when 9 months to 10 months before I actually got into a relationship with him, I was like making videos almost every day because I was not inhibited. I didn't have nobody, you know, stopping me from expressing myself, authentically expressing myself. So I was lit, you know, in my bag with expressing myself. As soon as I got with Nature Boy, I just stopped being self-expressive. And I'm telling this story because this is what's going on to the other Carbonation members and other members who went and left. And even if they don't realize it or not, this is the actuality of the, you know, of the circumstance. So um I pretty much felt like what he was saying, what he was teaching at the time when I joined him in 2017, I believed in what he was teaching. I believed in his morals and principles that he said that he was going to live by. And I believed in him so much, like so much. And I just chose to support him. You know, I chose to support him. You know, I chose to, at that time I had chose to become his wife because I believed in him that much, not knowing other details in the mix. You know, there was a lot of information that I was unknowing about. I did not know anything about. You know, he would always create scenarios behind my back with other people there. And that's another thing I wanted to tap into that was on my heart. Like everybody who know me from Carbonation, they watched me get abused by him. Like they literally watched me. Like that's a whole nother topic, right? But when he would say certain things to me and try to tell me to do certain things, it never clicked with me. So I was always questioning. I was always putting puzzle pieces together and things he wasn't saying, and I always felt things. Like I always felt like he was doing something, but I didn't know what he was doing. But he was like, I would ask him about it, and then he would be like, "Oh, I'm not doing nothing. Don't do that." He would like gaslight me pretty much. Oh, he's in the queue. Tori's in the queue. Mommy. Okay. Hey, mommy. Hey, baby. Let's let Tori in the queue, yo. Hey, mommy. What's up?
Hey,
How?
hold on. Is that Ellie?
Yeah.
Just said hi,
Hi,
mommy.
baby.
Clear as. Oh my goodness.
How are you?
Oh, that is too cute.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, why she talking? Oh,
Yeah. Ellie.
but That is so beautiful. I can't believe she's freaking Tori. Hi.
Hey, Tori.
Hi, Mama.
Hey, Tori.
Hi, beautiful.
Hey, Tori.
Let me stop. Nubia here. She hears me talking. She's like, what baby? Okay.
How you
But you
doing?
just
How you
said
doing?
something. You said that the people that watched you get abused, like the people at Carbonation
Ellie,
watched you
calm
get
down.
abused.
Eliana, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
You good, you good.
Ellie, she excited now. Okay, she tuned out. Okay, is this a reunion? Is this a reunion? Is this a reunion or no? Like, wait, she turning up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Give me 1 second. Give me one moment.
Why my camera looks so flat?
Anyway, okay.
But I was saying, like you just said something. You just said that the people there watched you get abused, and I feel like I tried my best to be there for you while I was there. Like I even like came to you on different occasions, on separate occasions, and I would talk to you about what was going on. But I feel like it was because of the space that we were in that we would kind of talk ourselves out of what we knew. Like I know on like maybe like 4 or 5 occasions I'll bring shit to you like I don't feel right about this or this don't feel right, and then you'd be like, yeah, I know, and then you would like give me the fucking rundown on his mind, and then we would kind of be like, okay, now we got the understanding, and we would let it go.
Okay, so let's
But
backtrack then. Let's backtrack. Let's back just a little bit for the public, just so just so that they know what happened between us when we had a relationship in carbonation. I do remember, you coming to be our wife. He
mhm.
said he told me that he didn't want you as a wife because you had a weird disposition. This is what he told me. This is what he told me. But he
Okay,
also
was this before I got there or after I
this
got
was
there?
this was wait, hold on. This was after. Cause he was really gun ho on believing that you were going to be the fit for us. Like he was like pushing it
Right.
hard. But he does that with every single woman, right? So
Yeah.
then I remember you going away, and then some other women came out of the blue. He had sex with everybody, and then fast forward, we got to Mexico. We lived in the house, and you were about to be our wife again, which he had brought everybody in, all of the women in, and started having sex with all of us. Aya, Sheba, you know what I'm saying? We were all together. Me, you, at one point in Mexico, and then he tried to okay, so yes, that's the part, right? So when you were in a relationship with us during that part, that moment, I remember one day, oh my god, I was upstairs. I think this was the first encounter. If I'm wrong, stop me. I was sitting upstairs and you came up the stairs, and I think you asked me a question about the women being in competition, I think. And I was like, yeah, I feel that all the time. So then I started telling you how everybody was in competition. To a degree like that. I probably,
Yeah, I remember the first time I came to you after it was like this was we talked a few times before then, but this was like I remember the what you're talking about. This was I came to you and I was like saying I talked about the imbalances. I was just like, okay, if women absorb energy and he's sleeping with everybody, doesn't that mean we're picking up the other woman's energy as well? And I was like, how does that balance if the women are all in competition with each other? Because that's what I was feeling. I was feeling like it wasn't feeling like a unit or like a bond thing. It was really feeling like I'm in competition with you, and then which came from a lot of mind games from him though as well. He was trying to put the women against each other and stuff like that. But yeah, I remember that.
absolutely. And to build on it, I actually told Nature Boy on multiple occasions, like when he would have sex with the other women and then it just, I feel like I had sex with them and I don't want to have sex with them, so I didn't want to have sex with him. You know, he would get mad at me
Right.
wanting to have sex with him and then making it a whole scene. Sometimes it'll get physical, sometimes it wouldn't. It just depend on his mood. Now, if he was drinking, shit escalated real quick. I remember a time when we was in the bathroom downstairs, and I was pregnant with Eliana, I think, or yeah, I think I was pregnant with Ellie, and I was going through a whole wave of emotions. This was when he was like trying to say that I was, well, no, we was fighting a lot. I wasn't really around the family because I kept having black eyes and bust lips and stuff, and he always used to keep me, well, not keep me, but I used to stay in the room because I didn't want y'all to see me like that. So uh he would be like well, I remember I just train of thought, bro. This is really fucking with me. Like, it's so much. This shit is really fucking with me. Like, I literally whole train of thought. I'm just so tired of this nigga, son. I'm so tired of him. Like, I'm just so tired of his ways. I think he's disrespectful.
I mean, but
I think he's
you're
a
no
fucking
longer
individual.
attached to him though. You get what I'm saying?
What you saying?
So you said you're tired of his ways, and I said, she'll get jealous. It's that Leo baby. Chill, chill, chill.
Yeah.
But I said you said you're getting move, move. Okay. Okay. But you said you're getting tired of his ways, and I said, but you're no longer attached to him, though. You get what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
know, you still feel the pain, and you still have the memories of those encounters, but you're not with him anymore. You're not there, so you don't really have to like continue to like experience what you did, like what you
You
did
know,
while you were there.
you know why I keep losing my train of thought? Because I be having questions in my head like, what happened to me? Like, yeah, I believed in him. You know what I'm saying? But like, why would I give my mind to someone, follow them, be abused by them as long as I have been abused? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm asking that question to myself because like my family
Right.
knows how strong I am as an individual. So it's like even they was like, how did Val even let that happen to her? You know, and every day I look at Eliana and she's right here, like, remember what you went through? And
Right.
sometimes I be like, I don't know what it was for. Like, I don't know why I went through that. Like, I don't know why I went through that. And that's fucking with me.
I feel you. I feel like that's something that I actually came to understand about myself. It may have, like, I don't know, it's different for everybody that that went there. For me, it was like my family had the same understanding of me. I was I was an individual thinker, very strong, like had everybody looking up to me that came to me for advice and things like that. So it was like a lot of people were confused on how I got trapped into something like that too. But I feel like one, it comes from being open to the knowledge. That's a lot of knowledge that we hadn't heard about before, but we internally knew. So we gave us a pieces of ourselves. We allowed ourselves to trust him because we're like, okay, I've taken myself this far. You know what I mean? We have this insight about ourselves. We feel that we are these strong individuals, and then this person was able to clarify and actually speak the knowledge that we actually knew and that we felt internally. So then it allowed us to trust him in a certain way. Like, okay, well, he was able to put this shit together and speak the shit, so I can trust him in that way. And then in addition to that, a lot of that shit came from my root. um I had a lot of toxic relationships that I didn't even realize were toxic before. So I had a lot of, like, with my parents, my mother and my father, very, very dictatorish relationships, very manipulative relationships that I didn't, like I said, didn't realize that they were manipulative relationships before until, hindsight. So I've just really much put myself into the same position that I was in Babylon. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it to an extreme. I still had that manipulative relationship, that dictator that was over me while I was there. So I feel like a lot of it can stems from root issues that that we're running from that we haven't uncovered? That you, I mean, like I said, I've uncovered a lot of this shit right now. I just
I know,
went through a
I
lot of
feel
this
you.
shit.
I've done the same. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I really appreciate what you said just now because you really helped me. Like, you really did in this moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate that. I was, a lot of, like, some people don't realize that because we went through it, boy, we're now able to see more clearly what generational curse. Like,
Right? Oh, to a like whole nother degree. And it's like even though you see them, it doesn't make it easier to freaking challenge them because you. I feel like it doesn't make, I want to say it doesn't make it easier to overcome them any easier just because you see them as clearly now. Like damn, like this is a fucking clear ass mirror of what, of a generational curse, of what my mother went through, of what my grandmother went through. It doesn't make it any easier to overcome because of that self-doubt. And that's where I'm at now, is where I can trust myself, I can trust my intuition, and I'm in a safer space because of that, because I can trust myself. And I feel like that's where it all stems from, as a woman being able to trust your intuition.
you
Because
know,
a lot of times, your intuition was guiding you while you was there. Your intuition was like, nah, I don't like this. I don't fuck with that. This don't make sense. But you ignored your intuition. You denied yourself. And that was that betrayal. That was the self betrayal, period. That sent you on, that sent us on a whirlwind.
wow. And you know what's crazy? I wanted to say this to in regards to, wait, who this is? London Life. She said, you're not alone, Val. Many women, young and matured women, have been abused by a narc. I'm one. And there's been a lot of people who have been coming to me with these same stories. Like, this is not something too far fetched from what other people in our lives have gone through. It's just not blasting on social media. So when Nature Boy tries to say that he's the Messiah, that shit really boils my blood. Because what
Mm-hmm.
you're doing now is you're taking a righteous thing and then turning it into darkness. You turning it and trying to make it into something that is not, misleading people into hell. You know what I'm saying? That's the part that fucks with me. And he's literally trying to create an army of reincarnated versions of himself alive. That's some demonic shit. Like, on some whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't,
Right.
people just normally walking around talking about some, yeah, I want to get all these women pregnant so that I could sleep my children together so I could create a divine bloodline. A demonic bloodline? The fuck?
Right.
That shit don't even
It's
make sense. Like, some of the shit that he does, like, cause this is what he likes to say. He likes to say that he's the Messiah, and he's our mirror, and he's gonna face us with our self and all of this extra shit. When in fact, he's only facing us with himself. We're watching him do everything to us while we simultaneously are in a vulnerable position. So we are looking at ourselves too, responding to the shit, but we're also watching him, not knowing that one day, especially if a motherfucker think, like, if a person actually thinks outside of what Nature Boy tells them, they're going to figure him out. They're going to catch on to his game. Period. Like, it's no doubt.
it's right. It's so simple, and that's where I was at with it. Where I'm like, it's simple. While we was there, we was picking the shit apart
Yeah.
very, very easily, very quickly. And there's so much information and testimonies out on him now, of the manipulation, of the abuse, to where I'm like, okay, if you go there now and you see all of this, it must be something that's pulling you there. It must be your demons pulling you there that you have to work through on your own. It's like I you know
Yeah.
what I mean. At first I was on a gung ho where I'm like, no, I'm gonna fucking do interviews. I'm gonna fucking talk about this shit all day because I don't want anybody to fall victim to what I fell victim to. But
Right.
now I'm like, I'm recognizing, even after, while I was doing interviews, while I was talking about it, I still had women messaging me like, yeah, I'm about to go out. I'm about to go over there right now. What do you think? And I'm like, I can, and I sit there and I take my time to explain it, give my energy to explain, okay, listen, baby, this is not it. This is what it is. And they're still confused. They still want to go. And I started to recognize, I'm like, this is something pulling them over there. And what do you notice? A lot of women, you were there. You saw a lot of the women that went over there, what, has sex demons.
Yes,
Just be ready to fucking fuck everything and everybody when they go over there. It don't even be about the knowledge. It's
right.
not the same from when we went there. It wasn't like, okay, like, yeah, like, I will sit in this fucking tent by myself and record videos. It's not like that. They go over there, they ready to fuck
Fucking
him on
facts.
day one, and then when he done with them, they ready to fuck the next dude and fuck then get passed around. It's not the same. So like I said, it's like I peep it and I'm just like, you have to heal from your own shit. I can't take responsibility for your journey. That's your journey. So
That's
I did my part. I just like if it was like the shit I'm going through now, I'm gonna do my part, whether that's making a report, whether that's speaking up and saying what I have to say, but I'm not gonna
feel
hold on
like
to that.
you. I feel like you. Like I literally feel like you. Like I feel like you right now. Like I'm not gonna
Bro.
be silenced by this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like no.
Right, right,
Shut me up. You don't shut a person like me up. You know why? Because I'm a righteous person. I'm not trying to
right.
do to nobody.